Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine, continue with historical figures. So far, I have finished the Trination period, and after that, with Jin Dynasty, very short, and then after Jin Dynasty is the Sui Dynasty. Okay, Sui Dynasty was established by Yang's family. This Yang, actually Sen Yang, was raised in the temple, and he's very religious. His mother was very religious. So, and his son was Guang, and there during this short period of time, there's the most very well recorded is the kind of brutal family, like the rule was quite brutal, almost back to the Qin dynasty. So a lot of either officials from high or either the common people rebelled a lot, and because they both of them are very religious, either so that means their mind is sometimes isolated from the other common people, either serving in his palace or the ordinary people. So that makes him kind of or sometimes because the religious make them visionary probably. So that's why the great canal was built in that time. That's extraordinary actually, and of course it would take lots of labors and a lot of sufferings, just like the Great Wall was built under the many sufferings, but it's just left for the historical. So this is difficult to say which one is right, which one is wrong, but just the fact, the reality. He built, the Yan's family built this great canal, opened up the south and the north, so economy very start to grow. That is the foundation to build for the later dynasties to continue to grow economy. So after Sui is the Tang dynasty. Okay, the Tang dynasty was established by the Li's family. Yuan Li was the first emperor, founding emperor. He used to serve Sui, at the palace with this Yang's family. But since there are so many rebellions, after building this great canal, facing a lot of economical problem and people suffering, so that's why. And this Tang dynasty established I think it's a second peak for the nation to grow prosperity and become really extended territory, and also the culture stabilized, and the policy, the economy all going up to another level. So if you talk about the China, usually either Han or Tang. So Han, Tang, these two dynasties are really the foundation of the country, become culture-wise quite united and independent, and grow very prosperous in these two dynasties at different level. So the important people in Tang dynasty, there's so many. Several of the emperor, the second emperor, actually Yuan's son, Shimin Li. He is very capable, very smart, either as a military leader or as a politician. He kind of united all kind of people. And he was not the first son supposed to take the throne, but since he really had so many friends, so many advisors, either religious or non-religious, they all gave him advice. So eventually the throne was his. And he did a lot of extraordinary things. He supported the culture development in terms of culture, ethical, and religions. And also, he did many other extraordinary things to those peripheral country. He led the military, fought with them, with the victories. And the other important emperor in time is the Longji Li. In his early time, he did extraordinary things. The country was the peak time, and at the same time, probably the emperor before him also started going up and reached the peak at his time, and then going down also turning point at his time, at his late age. His son took over the throne, and during his time there's a rebellion, and because of his concubine Yan, I mentioned that for one of the four beauty in the ancient history, because of concubine Yan, and there's just a lot of different opinion about her and her family. So that's why started going down the Tang Dynasty. The other important thing of Tang Dynasty is the literal. There are a lot of poems and special form of written. So the ancient poem is very well formatted. There's so many different kind of name, and each name of the poem has to follow the format. For example, the first line is five character, the second line is 5 character, the third line probably 7 or 6, and then follow, or the whole length could be 7 by 7, 5 by 5, 4 by 5 by 4. So it's a very well formatted literal. So that's because it starts from the Tang Dynasty. And early before that, there's also poems, but it's kind of free form. But since Tang Dynasty and Song Dynasty is also a lot of literal poems, and also the poet and also the writers, a lot of important novel or play start to show up, to pass down until today. So that's another important about the Tang Dynasty. Of course, Tang Dynasty in terms of territory is very extended compared to the previous dynasty, and the people living in happy and peaceful, and not a lot of wars, because each time when the emperor, when the peripheral country, they just bow down willingly to visit and to worship the Tang Dynasty. So after Tang Dynasty, the country broken, like 5 dynasty, 10 nations. So these are there are a lot of nations and turn around either north or south, or 5 dynasties, and Liang, Tang, Jin, Hanzhou, and then the last one is also the posterior Tang. And then during this period of time, also a lot of continue to grow is the literal and the culture, and people's life, just not stable, but still much better compared to several centuries ago. So after this 5 dynasty, 10 nations is the Song Dynasty. The Song Dynasty was established by Zhao through a special, unique way. He was the official commander, took the army to fight, but he just paused at the little town called Chenqiao, and then he said he fell asleep, and then his soldier just put the robe of emperor on him, so he became the emperor. Because in the ancient, the robe of emperor nobody else can wear the same thing. Even nobody can wear the yellow, because the yellow only for the emperor. So then he had this yellow dragon robe. So that means everybody, and even the previous emperor, just willingly to give the throne to him. So that's how he established Song Dynasty. Song Dynasty is another period of time very emphasized the literal, the art, the music, the play. So that's why at the same time the other nations, Mongolia, peripheral, small countries start very strong. So the fight never stopped since the Song Dynasty, and there's some conspiracies between the throne passing from one person to another one, and even the emperor was taken as hostage to their foreign country. The Song Dynasty is kind of very non-stable. A lot of stories, of course, a lot of heroes and the patriots because of the invasion from other nations. I'm going to continue next time, important in terms of literal and also the culture developed during this dynasty. I'm going to stop here, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.